Hi, you're listening to Chasing Tone with Travis,
Max,
and Brian.
And we're joined today with a very special guest, Mr. Derek Williams of the Jake Owen Band.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man, we get a little insight from a real deal touring musician, you know. And when I don't say that with any sarcasm.
The real deal. No, I am the real deal, man.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
But here's the thing. You could make that argument that that's true, man. You play to 20,000 plus pretty much nightly. Am I wrong there?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I'm like a man living a child's dream.
And by comparison, I did something similar to you. I played to 20 people the other day.
You know what? If you do that 1,000 times, it still counts.
That's my thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's cool. Like some stuff I definitely want to ask about. And I mean, it may not be so much gear related or tone related, but I'd really like to hear about kind of like an average day on the road. Because I think everybody thinks it's all like, well, I remember one time we were hanging out and I think it was after a show and everybody thinks it's going to be this huge party. But if I'm not mistaken, we wound up listening to Whitney Houston records or something like that.
Man, you nailed it. I mean, the day starts with some Rick Astley and ends with Whitney Houston. You know,
guys know.
Man, you know, we like to have fun. That's the hard part about being on the road is that it's fun, but you also could just get lost in that and neglect work.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, typically an average day has been I roll out of bed at like 10:30. Walk into catering and because there's no more breakfast. And I play video games for about the next hour and a half until they put lunch out. And I eat lunch. And then I'll probably drink a couple beers, do some Facebook, and then play a show. And that's, before you know it, it's amazing because before you know it, it's like 6:30. And you have to get ready for the show, and you haven't done anything. So I've actually been trying to change that up. Like, I just actually made a day sheet for myself for a schedule so that I'm trying to, you know, segment my day and make the most out of it, man, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, also you have sound check in there too, right? Normally around 3 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah. So, like, right now we're headlining, so our sound check is first. It's from 2 o'clock till whenever Jake Owen stops playing Merle Haggard songs.
That's a rough gig, man.
Yeah.
How do you handle the stresses of Xbox and Whitney Houston and beer?
I say
I know it's hard, man. That's why I'm getting so many gray hairs. You know.
Yeah. Well, going to the beer thing, two interesting stories involving Wampler pedals here and your beer. One being the last time Max was in your presence, I think he drank all your beer. Is that right?
And you owe us like an 18-pack.
An 18-pack, yeah.
I did contribute. I contributed a little bit to that.
But here's my favorite thing, and I made fun of Brian so much for this one because keep in mind he had a few beers in him, so he wasn't being mean. But on the way back from the show, when we were walking to the car, he's like, "Those guys drank all my beer." And I was like, what? He was like, before sound check around 2 o'clock, I put all my beer in their cooler on the bus, you know, right underneath the TV, right? And I said, so wait, you're mad because you left amounts of beer on a tour bus with, let's see, Dave, Myron, Joe, and you, right? Is that who rides on that bus? Robbie and Robbie.
That's a bad move, man.
I learned the hard way.
Next time, you got to modify. You got to do a mod to the beer cooler. You know what I mean? Put a lock on that thing, man.
Or like a secret compartment or something.
Next time, I'm gonna take a rolling cooler and just roll it around the entire day with me. Then I'll know. So,
if I'm not mistaken, that's also the show that before we left, you got in the car. You keyed the ignition on, right? And he looks serious as could be. He goes, "Am I sober enough to drink?" he meant to say, and then and nobody caught it, and Amanda caught it, and she was like, "You mean drive?" And he was like, "That's my answer."
And just for the record, I was just fine.
Right, he was just fine. Yeah,
It was just a slip of the lip.
So what's going on with you guys, man? Is this the Wampler headquarters that I'm
yeah,
looking at?
this is Brian's office.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't see the stripper pole over there, but
Yeah, I was kind of looking for
That's
it.
mine. That's mine.
Travis's.
That's how I got my last
Great.
promotion.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
So what is a typical day like for you guys?
Wake up,
Emails.
pop a cold one,
Lots and lots of emails.
put some chew in,
Yeah. Fix some trees.
fix some trees.
No. My typical day, man, is, if we're talking work related, I'm fortunate enough to where I work from home a few days of the week. So that's waking up whenever my infant son decides that I should get up, and that's normally around 7 or 6:30. And then I hit emails, which is cool because I get, that time to kind of away from everybody else in the hustle and bustle. And then basically just do whatever Brian says.
And then he changes multiple poopy diapers for the day.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what you got. That's what you got to look forward to, dude. Come on.
I thought I noticed a little residue on that plexi drive you sent out.
It was a blim for
Yeah,
more reason.
yeah,
than
that's
one.
what we call it, is a blim. But no, I mean for Max and I think it's.
Pretty much the same thing, except I'm here all the time.
Yeah.
And I do what Brian says.
And I mean we shoot videos every now and again, and we
Yeah.
bounce off ideas from each other.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is that like a lot of people think that this is all we do all day is just sit here
Right.
and we're like, hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah, let's play
But,
guitar.
I mean, the truth is, email is a huge part of it. Lots of phone calls come in. I don't have a phone in the office or in this office. That's why you don't hear it ringing, but it's usually ringing all the time. Which is a good thing. If it's ringing, that means we're
Not for
selling
me.
pedals.
Yeah, not for you because you have
I
to
answer
answer.
all the phones.
Max is usually answering phone calls.
Yeah.
And then, man, for a typical day for me, it depends. We have two different places. So, like out at my house, I have this big barn, and that's like where we do our videos.
Yeah.
That's where I do all the breadboarding. So it's like lined with all different kinds of amps, guitars kind of scattered laying around. And if I'm breadboarding, I'll just be out there basically like in this little cave.
Yeah.
And just plugging away at a breadboard, trying to get a specific sound. If I'm not out there, then I'm usually attached to a phone to my ear, talking to somebody, or with the computer open, answering email at the same time, looking at Facebook.
We spend a lot of time on Skype.
Skyping between everybody because, like Jason, our UK guy, he lives in England, so he telecommutes through Skype. And basically coming up with new ideas for pedals, new marketing ideas, talking about what's going on that day in the pedal world. We like following all the forums and stuff.
There's a big to-do today that we'll have to discuss too.
There's a big thing going on right now with a company that took enclosures from a cheaper company and repainted them and put their name on them and said they were all hand-built.
Wait. Back up. He even took the circuit boards. He took the exact same pedal, and then did he goop it? I think he gooped it.
He gooped it, yeah. But
He gooped it.
I don't think there was like any changes to it.
No
He basically
changes.
just-
Even the screen printing on the PCB.
yeah.
It was your pedals?
No. It was a different company.
Not our pedals.
Yeah.
It was a different company. But yeah.
A different company did that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's easily found on the gear page if you look for
and
it.
he kind of got caught and he backpedaled a bunch and then he finally came clean.
Lost big endorsers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the big what's going on in the pedal world today.
Well,
So
tell me about it. Don't be all, who was it?
I can't mention any names.
We can't. Well, here, hold on.
All right, fine. Zachary
I'm gonna text you
Bex.
right now.
So but anyways, it's not the first time it's happened. A couple years ago, there was another company that did something very similar.
Was it a big company?
Huh?
Was it a well-known company?
Among boutique guys, it was, yeah. They were buying, I think, Chinese pedals, and then saying that they're all hand built, and basically they just, changed one capacitor, put a bunch of goop on it. You know what that is, right?
Uh-huh.
That big black stuff looks like someone pooped on your circuit board. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's Travis's mod.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Actually, it's my son's mob. He's so smart. I love it. Why is it people think they're just assume their kids are smart? It's like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, dude, my 7-month-old son's so smart. It's like, dude, he still craps himself. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a little too
Yeah.
early to say. You know, I'm sure Hitler was a smart 7-month-old, you know, and look what happened there.
Yeah. You just compared your child to Hitler indirectly.
Yeah, I guess I kind of did.
Yeah, he's not going to outlive that, or he's not going to live that one down, is
Yeah,
he?
probably.
And the
Uh-oh.
Polish guy in the room goes,
Yeah, the Polish guy in the room. So. Anyway.
Yeah. So, okay. So I got to ask you, man. You're out there on stage. You got the hair thing going, so you're looking good. You know you are. You know you've been doing push-ups, so you're looking all buff. And you got all these girls in the front row that are like throwing underwear and stuff like that at you. What's that like?
It's a dirty job. The underpants, you don't know where those have been. It's a filthy, filthy proposition. They usually hose me down after a show, you know. But you know, in actuality, it's like really cool to have a bunch of people who are into the show, but the front row is always the fans that come to every show that you get to know and you get to love.
Really?
So yeah, it's
that's
kind
cool.
of crazy.
That's cool. So now let me ask her, any of those underpants thrown at you, are they ever Joe's?
Joe Eric, the
Joe
keyboard
don't
player.
wear underpants, man.
I wish he was here to defend himself. He's hilarious, man.
Joe wears a jock strap at all times.
That's great,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, so I mean that's obviously a childhood thing that you've wanted to do forever, right? I mean, is it exactly like what you thought it would be? Is it, in what ways is it different than what you envisioned it was going to be?
I'll be really honest. I mean, you know, this is one of those questions that I could just kind of breeze over and say, oh man, life is a fantasy. But, you know, when I was a 10-year-old kid growing up, you know, I had dreams of being a rock star in a rock band. And I grew up in Nashville, and I did the rock thing and eventually ended up playing country music. And there's a different sort of a structure to the country music band. You know, I'm in a backing band. You know what I mean? I'm like
Not
a
the
side
artist,
man.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so for me, I'm incredibly thankful to be making like wicked money and be able to hang out with you guys who, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be idolizing what you guys do. You know what I mean? So it's got its real serious perks. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a grown man living a child's dream.
Yeah.
Which means when I was a little kid, I thought it'd be really cool to live in bunk beds with 11 of your friends.
Yes. Yeah.
It turns out it's not that awesome.
More room for activities.
So there's that part of it. It's hard. It's a challenge to find alone time, which I think everybody needs.
Imagine working. Working with the same group of guys for so many years. I mean, you've been with the same members of that band since you started, right?
Yeah, for like
So-
2.5 years for me.
So the cool thing is, I'm sure. Well, the bad thing probably is you know how to get on each other's nerves, but I bet you also can read each other as far as like, this dude needs to be alone. You know what I mean? This dude needs his time, so I'm going to do something else. So, I mean, that's probably pretty cool, you know, being around those same guys.
Yeah, and back to the perks. I get to play two 50-watt amps on 8. And I get to, you know, I'm living my dream, man. But it's like if you asked, you know, Bill Gates or anybody, like, so how's it going? Is it everything you thought it would be? I think that everybody would probably say, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, you know. But man, I'm incredibly thankful that there's like probably every guy listening to this or watching this podcast can play circles around me. So I'm really thankful to be able to do what I do, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, we both know that playing, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's secondary, but goes just as much hand in hand probably with everything else. I mean, number one, the way I've had people describe it to me is you got to be cool enough to be around. You got to be cool enough to live with. You know, you got to have reliable gear. You have to. The image doesn't hurt, but everybody thinks that you have to, you know, be muscular and skinny. It's not so much that. It's just you got to kind of.
I mean, look at Joe Eric.
Once again, not here to defend himself, but no, you know what I mean. I mean, there is a look, but I think what everybody tells me is you got to be able to be lived with. You know, that's the big thing. You got to be cool. You gotta not bug the artist too. I think is the big one.
Man, I'll tell you, man, you hit the nail on the head. Like I have this website called that'smygig.com. Mm-hmm. You guys probably know about it.
Yeah, I follow it, man. It's great.
Yeah, so we actually interviewed Brian, but part of what I do is career counseling, which is like career mentoring for people who have the passion, have the drive, have the chops, have it all together. They just don't know what the next steps are. And I'll place these people into audition scenarios, and I'll recommend them for work with regional and national artists. And the biggest thing that I tell them when they go into an audition is you're not so much going in to show the artist how good you can play, because most artists don't really know the difference between, you know, Travis and me as far as playing. You're going in for an interview to see how you're going to be as a roommate.
Right. Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? They're trying to get a feel for who you are.
Yeah. And the thing I can kind of interject in there too is, you know, I've toured on a much smaller level, obviously, but I played with this drummer that on stage, man, we were great together, but off stage, we couldn't stand each other. And that didn't last. I mean, the music started to suffer eventually, you know? So, I mean, I can attest to that, man. You got to, you know, and I was the quote unquote artist. Right. So it was time to kind of look for another guy.
Once he started throwing drumsticks at you, it was time to go.
Yeah. But no, and then that's cool to know that that's kind of another guy saying, yeah, dude, you got to be cool. You got to be able to hang. So, but no, and also you do your career counseling through DerekWilliamsGuitar.com than that'smygig.com, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to transition that.
Okay.
We have, so I have my own website, but That's My Gig is like a career resource site for gig seeking musicians.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're trying to like transition that over to be more of our learning center on a level that's not about me, but it's about us.
Right. At the same time, though, man, you got to keep those videos coming. They're hilarious.
Oh, they're great.
They're great. I mean, and I know they're probably just iPhone videos, but they're edited, you know, pretty witty. Yeah. I mean, keep those coming, because I know that part's maybe, you know, that's more about you than say a general, you know, but. Make sure you keep those coming, dude. They're funny.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the tour journal videos.
Yeah. And, like one of them was like pooping on the road or something,
favorite.
right?
I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
So we also have Joe and I, our keyboard player. Well, like you said, we do this video series for That's My Gig, and we've gotten on this weird rabbit trail deviation where it was supposed to be about like how to survive on the road and tips for gigging musicians. And now we've created this band called the Black Market Surgeons.
Yeah. Your number one hit, Kidney Thieves.
That's right. Well, listen, we're just about to release our number 2 single.
I was talking to him earlier and started to interject because I asked him when the album's going to drop. He's like, no, we're working on our number 1 single. That's already out there. Then we got to get a song that hits number 2. That'll be our number 2 single. Then we'll work on 3, and then we'll get a full album, top 10 hits.
Yeah, because we think a lot of artists are too greedy. They want every single to be a number 1 single. Not us. We want it to be chronological.
And you know what's great is it's up to the listeners of this podcast to contribute to that to make sure it happens.
That's right. You know? Yeah. The only place that you can get our music right now is on Pirate Bay. And you're limited to 47 downloads. That's it.
But I did like the video. No, that's not true. You guys have a music video floating out there.
Yes, you do.
Yes, yeah. Check out on YouTube, Kidney Thief.
Yeah, by the Black Market Surgeons.
Yeah, we were the video with 17 views. Click on that one. Check it out. Let us know what you think. So the next one we have has Myron. He's our drummer, and he's a really large African American dude. If you didn't notice. So the next one we have is called Dentist the Menace. It's about black market dentistry.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys for checking that out, and I'm really enjoying what you guys are doing with these podcasts, man.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, it started out just us kind of, literally drinking beer and hanging out and recording.
Basically, we were drinking beer. We're like, you know what? I bet somebody would like this if we just stuck a camera in the room.
Yeah.
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 So
Pretty
that's
ridiculous.
what you got.
That's what made Kim Kardashian so big.
That and her. Never mind. Can I say that?
I was going to say fast food.
Yeah.
Just stick a camera in the room. Anything could happen.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
So good.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask about the that's my gig thing. What's like your long-term plans for that? I mean, do you see that building up as a business itself, or is that kind of more of a hobby type pursuit, or?
No, we have been developing a site for about a year. We've spent tens of thousands of dollars. We've got some web developers who have been developing. I don't want to talk a lot about sort of the model and the structure of it, but I'll say this, that our dream is to be a gig resource site that also has a recruitment aspect to it.
Oh, wow.
And then have a learning site aspect of it as well, called Gig University. So that's something that we're going to roll out in about 6 weeks, we're hoping.
Oh, that's
Very cool.
We're alpha testing it right now and making sure that all the functions work. Because we want it to be a good user experience. If it doesn't work, then people won't use it. You know?
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's
the idea,
Yeah. Nice, man. Well, I can't wait to check that out. One thing we have to hit on, and you said that you crank up, 250 watt amps. A lot of people want to know about tone and want to know about gear. Are you using the Shaw amps? Is that right?
Man, I love Shaw's amps. Kevin Shaw has. I have the Full Tilt 20, the 30, the 50. But right now on the road, I'm using the 50.
Nice. And,
Yeah.
Is that the one you did the demo video, the real high gaining one?
Yeah. Just fumbling through some power chords.
Yeah.
But listen, here's the thing. Tone is not in the amp. It's in the fingers. And so what I do is there's a special technique that I use to get these calluses real nasty and dirty. And then I actually am selling these modified nail files. They're $50 a piece.
$10 shipping.
They're actually just Walmart files that I've gooped on the back.
Perfect.
Well, you
Fantastic.
fit right in line with what everyone else is doing in the boutique world. Then, great. Job.
It's like our other guitar player, Dave, our lead guy. He's incredible, and I'm always mess with him because he'll get a pedal and rewire it, and he'll get an amp and rewire. He got that Euphoria, that Ecstasy drive,
right,
and he was like, man, I modified mine. I'm like, what? You did what?
Oh yeah, he's a huge gear guy. I mean, the first time I met him, back when you guys were still playing smaller clubs, and he was like, he knew like all kinds of stuff about amps that a gigging guitar player wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking about all these different types of caps that he's done to his amps, and I was like, wow, you got a future in building amps if the Jake Owen thing doesn't work out.
Yeah, but Dave's one of these guys where like if you were gonna compare it to something, like he'd be a guy who would walk into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and like smuggle in his own steak sauce.
Yeah.
He modifies everything.
Well,
and so one day we were sitting around and I was thinking, you know what, Dave? Have you taken a look at your fingers lately? Because I heard the tone is all in the hands. And he started thinking about that,
Oh, that's all. Well, the one thing I remember I was talking to Dave was I just made a simple comment. You know, I said, man, and I think is he using vintage sound? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, vintage sound amps.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that amp sounded killer. He was like, oh yeah, man, I went through that and I changed this and I changed that and I changed.
He basically rebuilt the amp.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy where I actually, that's how I learned about you, Brian, is I started modifying pedals and I got a hold of your book and I fell in love with the mods, and then I got a hold of the Plexi Drive, and my favorite mod out of your book was a Boss Blues driver, which I sort of did like a Brent Mason mod, I think, and then I just took it to the next level for myself and tweaked it to my Shaw amp that I was using. And I just thought it was the best sounding pedal, and I still have it. And then I played the Plexi Drive, and at that moment, I threw my hands up in the air, and I said, "Why? What am I wasting my time for? Modding, trying to chase a tone when this guy, Wampler, is just nailed exactly what I'm looking for." And same thing with Shaw. It's like Shaw has nailed just what I'm looking for. ESP guitars, they've nailed just what I'm looking for. So as a younger player, I was constantly getting something and tinkering with it and hot rodding it to make it mine.
Right.
And more, I don't know if it's just that I'm getting like sort of lazy or whatever, but if I cannot pick up a guitar and it's perfect exactly the way that I want, then I just set it down.
Right. I can totally relate to that. I hate setting up guitars. My main guitar is a Don Grosh Retro Classic, and I got it in like June of 2009, and he set it up, obviously, when he shipped it to me, and that's the last time anything has ever been done to that guitar. I mean, what's that, 5 years? In 5 years, I haven't even done a truss rod adjustment. I've changed strings, and it's perfect. So I understand that completely, man. I hate messing with guitars.
Let me see your fingernails.
Yeah, see? Right?
Yeah, let's see.
Look, this is how I modify mine.
You need the boutique file that
Yeah,
Jack
that's my
sells.
teeth.
Man, I'm with you. Like, if my neck feels a little bit out of alignment, before I'll do a truss rod, I'll just kind of bend it or something.
Well, that's a great thing about ESP. If you break it, you can just call them and be like, hey, man, my guitar broke. I have no idea what happened to it.
Yeah. Man, there's this stigma about ESP because, we all grew up looking through musicians' friend and seeing
Kurt Hammett and that thing, yeah.
Yeah, they're all like pointy edges and have like tiger stripe and neon pickups and stuff. And I think a lot of people kind of clump ESP in with Jackson and Ibanez and Schecter.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but the thing is that of all of those brands, Ibanez makes some really, really neato stuff, like some great high-end stuff. Pat Metheny and a lot of guys use.
Even the George Benson stuff.
The George Benson. I mean, those are immense guitars. And then ESP also has a Ronnie Wood, and they have some other guys that are playing their axes that aren't super shred metal guys. And man, they make some of the best axes out there. So I would encourage anybody who has made a judgment about them as a company to go actually check them out again. See about it.
Do they make Telecasters?
Ronnie Wood has a signature Telecaster.
I'm on board.
I like their neck through solid body one cutaway model. So basically, you know what I'm saying. But they have a model like that, and I think it's actually contoured on the body. The one I played, it was super comfortable. Yeah. So I can attest to that, man, because I had a buddy that played them pretty much extensively, and I was like, man, you're not even a shredder. He was like, it's not a shredder guitar, dude. So, yeah, man. I mean that. To me, that kind of wraps up a lot of stuff, man. Is there anything else that you kind of want to get out there that's something we may not know about a touring musician?
Oh, man. Well, we have pizza every night. I mean,
beer.
There's a pizza party. It's like, remember when you were a kid and you were in school and they did a fundraiser and the teacher was like, hey, look, if you do this fundraiser and you raise like $2,500, you get to have a pizza party.
Pizza party, yeah.
I get a pizza party every night. And I don't got to raise nothing. So I mean, that and being able to develop relationships with guys like you who, like I said, like I've looked up to Brian for so many years, and so
that's gotta be disappointing.
those are the big perks, man. Just friends like you guys and Max drinking all my beer. So even that, getting to hang out with you guys is really what makes this job the best.
Ah, cool, man. Well, we really appreciate that, and thanks again so much for taking time out of your schedule and pizza parties and video gaming, which beer drinking, hell raising. No, but seriously, man, thanks for taking the time out to talk to us, and we really appreciate your time, Derek.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'll see you around.
All right, sounds good, man. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, and you know, I can't say we'll get everything to Derek, but if there's something that I think's hilarious enough that we need to ask him, shoot it to podcast@wamplerpedals.com, or if you have subject for future shows that you'd like to share with us, we'll get to those too.
Make sure you check out Derek's site at that'smygig.com.
And DerekWilliamsGuitar.com until they merge, right? So,
That's right. Yeah.
okay. Check us out and check us out on social media. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thanks, guys.